Have you ever found yourself in a situation where someone disrespected you in public, and you didn't know how to respond? It's a moment that can sting deeply, leaving you feeling small and off balance. Yet, there's a powerful truth many overlook: respect isn't something you demand, it's something you command. This mindset shift is essential. When you learn to respond gracefully to disrespect, you naturally enforce respect in all areas of your life. In this comprehensive guide, we'll delve into psychological tricks to avoid provocations, show you how to create an unforgettable first impression, outline how to manage interruptions and make people listen, teach you how to elegantly turn around humiliating jokes, and help you know when it's time to walk away to maintain respect. Think about it. How many times have you felt the sting of a harsh comment, a thoughtless joke, or a subtle dig at your expense? The embarrassment creeps in, leaving you to question your worth in that moment. The key revelation here is that your response defines who you are far more than their attempt to belittle you. People who understand how to make people respect you, no matter your age, enforce respect naturally. They don't rely on shouting or force, they simply embody a calm, assured presence that others can't help but acknowledge. This isn't about bullying or intimidation, far from it. True respect arises from inner strength, emotional maturity, and unwavering self-awareness. You might think, how does one find such poise, especially when caught off guard? The answer lies in a blend of mental dose, taking in the right mindset regularly, spiritual growth, personal growth, and inner growth. By aligning with principles of spirituality, awakening, and social psychology, you cultivate an inner landscape that remains unshaken by external negativity. Over time, these principles guide you toward healthy relationships and steer you clear of toxic relationships, providing consistent inspiration, daily inspiration, and everyday inspiration. So, let's break down the steps, infusing insights from both psychology and wisdom in relationships. After all, this is about more than a one-off comeback line. It's about redefining how you present yourself to the world. Step 1. How to create an unforgettable first impression. First impressions do matter, and the top 1% secret to commanding respect often starts here. When you meet someone new, stand up if you're seated. Rising to your feet levels the playing field, conveying equality rather than submission. It's a subtle signal that you're on the same footing, literally. Eye contact is another game changer. Many people glance at someone's hand during a handshake, inadvertently tilting their head downward, signaling a subtle form of submission. Instead, maintain direct eye contact. This single, quiet gesture sets a tone of calm confidence. Without uttering a word, you say, "I see you, and I acknowledge your presence as an equal." Over time, practicing this approach becomes a natural part of your demeanor, helping you impose respect effortlessly. Step 2. How to manage interruptions and make people listen. Interruptions happen, they're common in office meetings, social gatherings, or even family discussions. Instead of letting them fluster you, there's a quiet strength in simply pausing and looking directly at the person who cut you off. Not with anger, not with malice, but with steady composure. This silent gaze alone can restore order, as it communicates, "I haven't finished, and I expect the courtesy to continue." Following that moment of eye contact, calmly say, "May I continue, or could I finish my thought?" This phrasing is gentle yet firm, reinforcing that you respect yourself and the conversation enough not to be brushed aside. Such a balanced response often diffuses tension, guiding the discussion back to your point without hostility. Step 3. How to elegantly turn around humiliating jokes. Humor is tricky. When someone makes you the punchline in front of others, it can feel awful. Yet, there's a brilliant tactic to neutralize this without resorting to harsh comebacks. Instead of reacting immediately, pause and feign that you missed the joke. Then politely ask them to repeat it. "I'm sorry. I didn't catch that. Could you say it again?" Most jokes lose their impact upon repetition, especially if they rely on shock value or a cheap jab. By having them restated, you shift the spotlight onto them. Now they must deal with the awkwardness of an unfunny line delivered a second time. This approach flips the scenario, making it clear that their attempt to ridicule you did not land as intended. You remain calm, poised, and in control, preserving your personal growth and inner growth by not sinking to their level. Step 4. Psychological tricks to avoid provocations. Some individuals attempt to provoke you to gain a sense of power. They might insult you or push your buttons, hoping you'll react emotionally and give them something to feed on. The trick here is delightful in its simplicity. Respond with something unrelated or unexpectedly mundane. It could be asking about the nearest coffee shop or commenting on the weather. This random redirection throws off their momentum. They came armed with cutting remarks, expecting a defensive outburst. Instead, they face calm indifference, veering the conversation onto neutral ground. This subtle, almost playful tactic demonstrates that your emotions aren't easily manipulated. It's a perfect example of do this and people will respect you immediately. Enforce respect, because it shows you're beyond their attempts at control. Step 5. When it's time to walk away to maintain respect. Not everyone will respect you, no matter how composed, kind, or confident you are. Some individuals are simply entrenched in negativity or hostility. In these cases, understanding when it's time to walk away to maintain respect is crucial. Walking away does not signify defeat. On the contrary, it highlights profound wisdom and self-worth. By choosing not to remain in environments that persistently undervalue you, you state, "My time and energy are too precious for this." Stepping back preserves your dignity, allowing you to invest your energy elsewhere, perhaps in healthy relationships, where mutual growth and understanding flourish. By now, you see that these strategies aren't just surface-level tactics. They tap into deeper concepts of mental dose, regularly nurturing a resilient mindset, spiritual growth, recognizing a larger order and universal flow beyond interpersonal conflict, and inner growth, building inner strength, patience, and emotional balance. Spirituality, awakening, and the law of attraction come into play when we consider that the energy we emit often returns to us. Maintaining a calm yet confident presence can set a powerful example that others subconsciously respect. This kind of respectful energy invites reciprocity, encouraging others to treat you kindly. It's an application of the top 1% secret, where individuals who understand these inner workings of human interaction effortlessly impose respect wherever they go. Ancient wisdom and relationships teachings often point to balance and harmony. The ultimate goal is not just to win an interaction, but to cultivate a life where genuine respect, understanding, and cooperation are the norm. Over time, these approaches reshape how people perceive you, how they behave around you, and how you feel about yourself. Just as importantly, these approaches transform your inner narrative. No longer do you see yourself as a victim of others' disrespect, but as a sovereign individual who commands respect without aggression. These tactics, standing confidently during introductions, calmly managing interruptions, disarming humiliating jokes, sidestepping provocations, and knowing when to walk away, are stepping stones. Each step aligns you closer to a state of self-respect and confidence. By practicing them, you discover that respect naturally flows toward you because of who you are and how you carry yourself, not because you force it. This subtle but profound shift leads to personal empowerment. Suddenly, your motivation to engage positively with others grows, you find inspiration in handling challenges gracefully, and your social psychology improves as you better understand human dynamics. As you apply these methods consistently, people around you begin to notice and reflect your elevated state of being. Do this and people will respect you immediately is not just a catchy phrase. It's a lived reality when you align your inner strength, emotional balance, and outward conduct. By mastering these nuances, you integrate not only improved communication strategies but also impose respect as an effortless side effect of your personal evolution. In a world where it's easy to feel powerless when disrespected, these insights return the power to you. They enable you to live a life where disrespect doesn't shake your foundation. Instead, it bounces off your well-built sense of self-worth. If you found these insights helpful, consider supporting this channel by liking and subscribing. Share these ideas with friends, family, or colleagues who might benefit from learning how to navigate tricky social dynamics. Let's keep learning, growing, and building a world where respect is the norm and each of us moves forward with grace, confidence, and unwavering inner peace.